He's going to enter his 24th season in the NBA, but where he will play still remains a mystery. All we know is that it won't be in L.A. and that LeBron is currently evaluating his options. Here's our own Shams Charania with the latest.
When you get Jaylen Brown in the stunning fashion that they did, it puts you in the conversation. It puts you on the radar of someone like LeBron James. And my understanding is the Sixers are pursuing a pitch with LeBron right now. They may be on the outer skirts of that process. It has been late developing for them, obviously, because this trade just happened. League-wide, the Cavaliers, Warriors, Heat, those three are viewed as the most logical fits for LeBron James.
All right, here we go. Settle in with the latest on LeBron James, joined by Vince Goodwill, Monica McNutt, Tim McMahon with us as well. Vince, we'll start with you. Sixers, best destination right now for LeBron James?
Much to your disappointment, Joe, absolutely not. No, sorry about that. It's a thing where you look at it and you're saying the Philadelphia Sixers are making big moves. When you bring in a Jaylen Brown and opens the door, like Sham said, they're figuring out a pitch. It's like they got in a meeting. But the question is, who's going to defend? How many basketballs are there? Did the game change? No, they got to feed VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid and now Jaylen Brown and figure out how all that fits. And then you add LeBron James in. No, I still think the front runners are the Golden State Warriors, Miami Heat, and Cleveland Cavaliers.
Tim McMahon, slide in here. That's an interesting point. The word fits is kind of what we want to focus on here. Would LeBron fit in a Philadelphia lineup that just added Jaylen Brown, sometimes has Joel Embiid, and then two young stars that are coming out of the woodwork, Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe?
Sure, he'd fit as a third or fourth option, but LeBron is seeking basketball happiness. I don't think that is basketball happiness for LeBron James. I think he wants to go somewhere where he's going to touch the ball on more than an occasional basis. I still think Cleveland would be the best fit. You can say, how much is he going to touch the ball with Donovan Mitchell and James Harden? Harden's more of a table setter now, but also we're talking about storyline. We're talking about a storybook ending. We're talking about coming home again, a full circle moment. Philadelphia, even Golden State, it just would be weird to see him in a different uniform.
Monica, it seems like each day from the start of this process with LeBron James deciding to not return to the Lakers until he makes a decision, we are probably going to have a new team every day that we can potentially discuss. Today it's Philadelphia. Tomorrow it could be Denver. When it comes to Philadelphia, how do you like the fit? Does it make sense to you?
I think we gotta get clear on what we think LeBron wants to do in this next chapter before we really answer this question. Because as far as fit goes, I don't see where the fit in Philadelphia will be that much different from the fit in Cleveland. And I kind of get it on the fit in Golden State, but are those guys going to win anything? Like, the father time element of this is all real. In Miami, I got so many questions about Miami. Like, what in the world is going on over there? So to me, I think, what does it look like to be a fourth option, a third option? Does he want to just have fun vibes, like enjoy the last few years of his career, or does he want to be in a position where he's playing meaningful basketball? And I would think that the meaningful basketball piece of this cannot get lost, because otherwise, why are you doing this? So to me, Philly is not as much of an outlier as maybe my good friend Vince made it sound when we started this conversation. I personally am with I'm with Tim in terms of the storybook of Cleveland of it all. But when we talk about fit, like, I don't think that these places are all that far away outside of Golden State because of the previous relationship he has with the Olympic team and stuff.
McMahon, slide back in here. I saw you laughing and shaking your head. What do you think the bigger deal should be to LeBron right now, the roster fit or the championship aspirations?
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell LeBron, one of the greatest players of all time, what his priorities should be. But I know he cares about legacy. Honestly, he cares about the storyline. He's had a film crew following him around. There's going to be a documentary produced about all this. So I really think storyline is going to matter here. I don't think the storyline's as sexy going to Philadelphia, where they're still trying to, they'll be trying to figure out, okay, when does Tyrese have the ball? When does Jaylen Brown have the ball? Oh, remember Joel Embiid? He's got to touch it. But LeBron and Steph joining forces, Draymond Green providing sound bites, that's a hell of a storyline. But again, coming home again for the third time, the place where he's from, the place where he started, the place where he finishes, that's the best storyline, and the Cavaliers would have a chance to contend. I would also contend he would be option 2 there, not 3 or 4.
Sequels are great. It's really hard to make a trilogy work. He made that sequel work in Cleveland in 2016. He closed the book on that situation there. He's going to get a statue. He's going to get his jersey retired. He's probably going to be an owner at some point over there. I don't think he needs to go back. He doesn't owe anybody anything. If he wants to go and play golf every other day and play with people that he knows and great vibes and all that stuff, hey, you can go to Miami and play under that Eric Spoelstra, Pat Riley thing if you want to play around winning. But if you want to go and have fun and play somewhat meaningful basketball, you can go to Golden State and play in the second round. Is that meaningful enough basketball to him, being in the second round of the playoffs, maybe in a 2-2 series, and trying to figure out if you can beat San Antonio or Oklahoma City? It all depends on what happiness and what contention means to him.
Monica, you've got the final word. Fire away.
My only thing to you, my good friend Vince Goodwill, trilogies are very difficult, but so is coming into a league and defying every expectation because you are maybe one of the most anticipated draftees ever. All LeBron James has done is make the impossible seem like a reality. So I don't think the trilogy option looks that bad.
I'll take a wild guess here. I think is the operative word. We might continue this conversation about LeBron throughout
of the reporting. I think just suggests that Jaylen Brown being the number one on the team somehow rubbed everyone the wrong way. Maybe, I don't know if how he was acting. Maybe he was a little bit too ball hog on the court, even though it led to them winning a lot of games. Obviously, they're bounced early, kind of in embarrassing fashion by the team that they traded Jaylen Brown to. So it makes sense that maybe they were like turned off by how he was treating himself, maybe even like, I'm the number one now that Tatum's gone. Obviously, everything with the Twitch stream. This is my favorite season. Like, that's all well documented. But I keep going back to, because of the return, you can't explain away how he was, treated or how he felt about himself. Like, however you think that they can justify this, I think because of what they got back, it ultimately still doesn't make sense, because even if he's as discontented as possible as a player, I still think you can get a better return than a 7 years older player, another bad contract, and, like very few picks in return.
But all the reporting that we were getting from Brian Windhorst, Shams Charania, etc., indicated that the Celtics were moving with a sense of urgency and almost desperation when they said that after they put Jaylen Brown as the centerpiece of their offer to the Milwaukee Bucks and their attempt to lure Giannis Antetokounmpo there, or to get Giannis Antetokounmpo, that didn't work. Ultimately, he goes to Miami. We knew that there was bad blood between the two parties. We knew Jaylen Brown did not like the fact that publicly it was not only that he was in the deal, but that publicly it was out there. And so when he says yesterday in his Twitch stream that he's still processing how this all went down and that he earned his respect from the city, meaning Boston, that he never asked for shortcuts or special treatments, he simply showed up every day, put his head down, and accepted every challenge. CC, I understand that thought process. I understand coming into work, grinding every day, providing the production and subsequently the success that is demanded of me, and then not feeling valued in return. I understand why Jaylen Brown would feel that way.
Yeah, 1,000%. There's always a human element to it, even if we're talking about it being business. One of the things that people have to understand when you are the product as a professional athlete, your work is very, very personal. And Jaylen Brown felt disrespected because his work was not appreciated in Boston. And so spinning it forward, I think that going to Philadelphia, he's going to have a massive chip on his shoulders. And if the Philadelphia 76ers embrace that and embrace him and the mentality that he has displayed over the last decade in the NBA, then all of a sudden we're talking about that program and we're talking about that core being able to take a quantum leap. So, yeah, I think there are very few things that can happen.